What's up, everybody? Welcome to BitLab Academy. We're going to be breaking down the best indicator that you can utilize to stack profits while you're trading. Whether you're trading Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, AVAX, any crypto asset, or trading even traditional assets within the stock market. It doesn't matter because it's all based on some of the same data pools. That's what's going on with price action, what's happening with the underlying fuel, the momentum, the strength, the buying and selling pressures in the market, where volume is identifying areas of interest, and how you can capitalize on capturing the trend. We're going to be breaking down the all-new, completely overhauled BitLab Trading Stack. I'm going to break it down from beginner to pro so you can understand, for all you beginners out there, how you can readily and easily understand the signals that are present so that you can catch the trend. And for all of you pros out there, how you can dive in just a little bit deeper and get that alpha, those high-level data sets. So regardless of where you're at on your journey, the BitLab Trading Stack is going to help you stay in profit while you're trading any asset that you're trading. So let's go ahead and dive right on into it. It's going to be straight into it today. So first things first, let's go right into the charts. Now, a lot of people ask me, when we're setting up, when people are trying to add new indicators to the charts, first step is when you're buying, whether you're getting the BitLab Trading Stack or you're getting any other indicator, the provider of, or the developer of that indicator needs your TradingView username. So in order to get the TradingView username, open up your TradingView, come right up here to the top left where you see this little letter. Mine says W, okay? It's the first letter of my username. Click on that and you'll see what your TradingView username is right there. Step one. Step two, how do you add the indicators to your charts? See across the top here, mine may look a little different than yours, but I have my template set up and I have mine all custom, but this will essentially be the same thing. You're going to see whatever time frame you have standard, whether it's daily, hourly, whatever. I just have stars next to mine. You can see right here, I put stars, and turning these stars on and off basically give you a quick key to get right to them. Very easy access. Now to add the indicators, come right here and you're going to click on this right here, indicators and metrics, select that, come down to invite only scripts. And then you're going to type in I have a bunch here because I've been in the markets for years, but type in BitLab and you'll see BitLab_Academy. This is what you're looking for. And you can basically add BitLab Intelligence, add BitLab Trend Fuel, and add the BitLab Volume, and that will come up on your charts. So here we go. This is essentially the new BitLab Trading Stack, all integrated, many different signals integrated into these three indicators that you need to put on your chart. And this way, whether you have a free TradingView account or you have a paid TradingView account, you can get them all on here without having to upgrade your account while still getting a huge amount of different signals from the BitLab Intelligence, providing you signals on the price action itself, giving you dynamic support and dynamic resistance zones, as well as this trend signal line, as well as these bearish signals and bullish signals we have here based on what's happening with price action. As you can see, these dynamic support, dynamic resistance. And then, of course, you can see on the right, we have the BitLab Volume. And we're going to be going over these in a little bit more detail, so don't worry. I'm going to show you how you can catch these trends. BitLab Volume is essentially an updated version, completely redesigned version of the VPVR. However, with this, it also looks at the data a little bit differently and provides the volume levels, how much volume was traded at the corresponding price action directly to the right here. So at this level right here, we can see we had a volume spike right here because this graph, this sort of indicator has higher amount of volume right here. And as you can see, these areas down here, there's lower amount and even less volume right here. We could tell because this indicator tapers off. In addition to looking at the volume profile, we also have these red and green bars here. These are order blocks. Now, these are very, very, very useful tools when trading because essentially these order blocks self-populate on the chart regardless of what time frame you look at. And essentially what it does while looking at these different time frames, we can see that it's giving you it's identifying a zone in price action that there was large clusters of buy orders or sell orders. That gives you an idea where there's interest in terms of whether it's institutional or smart money or wealthy players in the space, or just a huge amount of interest from broadly everybody in the market. When you get clusters of orders, buy orders or sell orders, it's essentially identifying these areas of interest And essentially, we can think of them like high liquidity sort of magnets. Price action tends to interact with these zones. So right now, we are below this order block and above this green order block. So if there's any price action that moves up, without even having to do technical analysis, if I know nothing about technical analysis, I don't need to look left on the chart. Now, looking left on the chart will always provide you more information, but this gives you an idea of a zone that you should be interested in. Now, why would there be a lot of interest here on the way down? Well, if we do look left, we see that right here, this is a known sort of support level. If we put a line right here, we could see that on the way up, this was a little bit of resistance. So on the way down, this would act as potentially some support. And people did think that because there was a lot of orders right at this level, as we can tell, is outlined by the order block. This is part of the BitLab volume. Now, again, we're going to go into a lot more detail on all of this. In addition to these order blocks, we also have this point of control, which is also known as another way to think about it is, what's the highest amount of volume traded at a particular price? What price on this visible range that we're looking at? Meaning if we scroll out, this is a visible range. How much can we see on this chart? And you see as we move this around, this data set moves and gives you more data or less data based on what you're looking at on the charts. So if we zoom out on this, we can see this will move around. You see now the point of control is up here. Gives you just a very easy way to see where the areas of interest are on the chart. Now, in addition, and there's a lot of advanced features I'm going to show you how to turn on this in a second. Now, in addition to this, again, we have the price action here on the BitLab Intelligence, getting a lot of signals here. And then we have the volume showing areas of interest based on past price action, based on where, basically price memory, what people are looking at, where you can identify levels of interest without even knowing previous price interactivity. You can look just to the volume and it gives you a heads up about what areas you should be paying attention to. And then in addition to this, then we have the most important indicator of all three of these, and all three of these work so well together. But I think this one down here on the bottom, this one down here on the bottom, which is the BitLab Trend Fuel, is I consider one of the most important elements of this, because this lets you know how much fuel is in the tank to continue a move, or if there's a change in momentum, if there's a change in underlying strength that is signaling a trend reversal. Now, of course, on the price action, we can see we have these bearish and bullish signals in these trend shifts and these potential reversal point signals, all these. In addition to all this on BitLab Intelligence, you see these small numbers. When you put your mouse over these numbers, they're on the bottom and on the top. The top ones are bearish, the bottom ones are bullish. It lets you know how many divergences are there and what they are. So in this case right here, we have a 4, put our mouse over it. We have a bullish RSI, bullish stochastic, bullish momentum, bullish on balance volume divergences. Now this may be a little bit more advanced for you advanced users, and for you beginners, maybe you're going to grow into really utilizing these. But as it stands right now, let's talk more about how we can use all three of these together to identify where we can catch the probabilities of a change in trend and stack those to our favor so that we can capitalize on the move at the best part of the move, so we can capitalize with the most profits. So one of the things I want you to identify here is we have the BitLab Intelligence, BitLab Volume, and BitLab Trend Fuel all on the chart. Now let's make it easy for ourselves. Before we move any further, let's come up here to the top, right next to the indicator thing. You see 4 squares right here. See my mouse right here. We can see, for some reason, there we go. We can see right here, 4 squares. Selecting these 4 squares, selecting these 4 squares, we can come to Save Indicator Template, and you can type in whatever you want. In this case, let's just do, I'm just gonna write the letter X, but you could type in BitLab, you could type in Trading Stack, whatever you want. I'm just gonna put this for my sake, X example, click Save. You're saving this template with these 3 indicators. Come back to these 4 squares, click on them, go down to wherever the one that you just saved, put a star on this, add to favorites, and you'll see that it is added up here with a very easy access to go between your different indicators. So in this case, for instance, I have MACD, RSI, money flow. If I want to go straight over to my BitLab indicators, I can click on that. Now, this is important because every indicator package will come with standard default settings. Those standard default settings will broadly work on most assets. Within the crypto ecosystem. As you go from Bitcoin to Ethereum and further down the market cap list, you may have a different interaction of where the signals hit based on how the settings are set up on your indicator. So as you start utilizing these and you start getting a feel for them, you can go in and change settings. So what I like to do is have, different setups with different settings that I can easily go between. So I don't have to go in there and manually change the settings based on that. Like for instance, you can have your Bitcoin settings and then you can have your microcap settings. So you can have two different templates you can click through. So it's already goes to the preset things that you've identified. And we're going to be breaking a lot more opportunities down with that in the BitLab Discord. So in this case, here we are. We've got our BitLab Intelligence, BitLab Volume, and BitLab Trend Fuel up here on the bottom. Now, one of the things I want to show you here on the Trend Fuel, as I mentioned, I consider this one of the most important. This is a very strong indicator as well, the intelligence, and then a supporting indicator with these would be the BitLab Volume. Now, on the BitLab Trend Fuel, I want to break down some of the components here. Now, looking at this is how it's going to come when you open it. You can double click on this or come over here to the gear wheel. You want it. We'll start with the very beginner look. We can turn off the RSI here on style, turn off the VWAP, and just look at it just like this. Now, what we have is we have these momentum waves, essentially the trend wave, the strength of the trend and the movement of that trend. We have these triangles. We also have, if you can see, these lighter colored diamonds. We have this blue and pink wave with some gray intermixed. This is the money flow. And when it's gray, it's essentially there's no change. It's neutral. There's kind of lack of signal there. And then we have these divergences that auto print on here to let you know that in this case, I can tell that price action was either flat or it had a low and a higher low. In this case, a momentum, a high and a higher high. Whereas here, the peaks show that there was weakening trend momentum into that zone, suggesting a potential breakdown. We're going to talk about that here in a second. Now, in addition to this, we can also see we have this dashboard on the right. Again, I'm going to come back to the settings up here, this gear wheel, and I want to show you something here on these inputs. See right here where it says dashboard shape. You can have, I like mine as vertical because it makes it very clean, especially if you pull it up on your phone. You can come right here, you can go to square, and you basically get a square block like this. So this is what it looks like down here. If you have it minimized, looking here with the rest of your chart. And you can also have horizontal, which basically goes horizontally. Again, I prefer mine vertical, so let's leave it at vertical just like this. In addition to what we just showed, we've also have, for anybody that wants to follow the flow, especially if you're in very small time frame trades, you can see the order flow right here. A sell, a buy, a sell, a buy, and you can also see the volume of each one of those. So as the price action really starts moving, maybe you're trying to catch a reversal, you can see the order flow happening here in the order books, essentially for the asset. Now, when we're trying to identify when to take a trade, here's a good example right here. Now, on the bottom of this move, on the BitLab Intelligence, we've got 3 bullish divergences right here and 4 right after that, suggesting, again, what are divergences? It's saying the underlying data suggesting the money flow, the strength, the stochastics, the momentum. Even if you don't fully understand those yet, this is saying price is going down while underlying strength is increasing, suggesting a bounce may be coming. So in this case, we had a bullish RSI, bullish Chaikin money flow, and bullish momentum, and then followed right after with bullish money flow, bullish MACD, stochastics, and demand index. So just on this alone, would you take a trade? Well, this is suggesting, again, we always want to have a 1, 2, 3 setup at minimum, meaning we have a leading signal, and it could be any of the signals we're about to show. We have a supporting signal, and then we have a confirming signal. So in this case, we have 2 bullish divergences. We'll consider this a setup. And then what we want to do is we want to look down to our trend fuel. So this is down here. So right about the same spot that we got these bullish divergences, we get this green triangle right here. Green triangle says the trend momentum to the downside is reversing And we're seeing the underlying support from these divergences right now, suggesting there's strength coming into the market while the trend momentum is reversing at the same time. So we're getting two signals right here. Now, in addition to this, remember, on the BitLab Intelligence, we've got this trend signal line, which is red when we're in a bearish trend. It's kind of flips back and forth when we're neutral, sometimes gray. But then see this? Now we're bearish again. Bearish, it's all bearish all the way down. We even have this dynamic resistance zone in here. So when we see this triangle form, we see these bullish divergences. We see this attempt breaking through this trend signal line right here. It pushes up, comes back down. We get another bullish divergence setup. So we had the 1, 2 right here. This comes back down, supports the fact that this is still trying to reverse. We also have a higher low. Now this breaks back through this trend signal line. And what I would do on this trade is I would wait until we broke past this high right here, because not only are we back above this trend signal line, we saw the underlying support and the trend sort of reversing here back to the upside. So the confirmation for me would be taking out this high right here, and you would have been able to take this trade right here, essentially for a 26% trade if you were to take this from this confirming point all the way to the top. So the trend fuel was suggesting this momentum to the upside. The divergences was the sort of front-running signal here, and then the break of the trend signal line and this previous high confirms the move here. Now, we have not even looked at the BitLab volume, so let's kind of come over here. I'm going to do replay and do this just like this. There we go. And we can see at this level, we have order block right down here, suggesting potential support if this were to come down to this level. We've got order blocks directly above us. So let's watch as this plays out. I'm going to put this on 3x speed. There we go. Letting this play. We can see as this moves down. Did I put that in the right spot? Yeah, okay. So this is right where it was. So the momentum was coming down. I'm going to pause this. The momentum was coming down. If you're wondering if you should take a trade, because we did get some bullish divergences, but there wasn't any other confirming factors. So as this comes down, it's tracing down. It's getting rejected at this weekly VWAP. See right here, gets rejected, loses the trend signal line. It's coming down. And then what we can see on the bottom right here with the trend fuel, this momentum wave, and I want you to notice this momentum wave, these gray bars, white bars start turning red. This is saying that there's high selling volume in this momentum. So not only is the trend coming down, but we're also seeing a lot of selling volume, suggesting that this is like the strength is on the side. The bias is on the side of a continuation while we have these red bars to the downside. We actually even see this trend momentum increase as this gets sharper angled to the downside. Now, I want you to notice something. Here's a sort of front-running signal. We went from red to green on this bar. This is suggesting that somehow, even though the trend is coming down, we're getting a lot of buying volume coming in as well. So this is a change of pace here. This is signaling, hey, something may be coming up here. This would have been a front-running signal for me to look out for when this triangle comes. Trend reversal triangle. So looking right here, we got the green bar right here on this candle coming up. Has a basically fake out to the upside, comes back down. We get the more bullish divergences. We get the triangle, and we get buying volume while the trend wave is reversing, showing that this trend is moving back towards some sort of bullish narrative. So let's see how this plays out further. So look at this. As this continues up, we get the green lines here in the trend wave, suggesting as this is moving up, there's a lot of buying power, even as this trend is moving towards the zero line back into a bullish trend, breaking the zero line and coming up above this wave like this. So this is showing the buying is believing in this. The buyers are in control, and we see this continues up. This just rockets to the upside once we take out this level. So we can see there. Now, along with all of this, We've got the price above the weekly VWAP, which is, we can see right here. We've broken through some levels here on the BitLab volume. We now have an order block that has just formed as well up here, letting us know when price does, if price does lose this level, there's going to be some point in time, likely very soon, that the price action moves back into this level and potentially uses this as resistance. So let's see how this plays out. So I want you to notice there, did you notice if before there was two order block lines right above this, this tapped that order block line? This tapped that order block line. You see, where did that order block line go? There was an order block line right above this. This tapped this and basically closed it out, and this came back down. So as this continues on, we can see the replay mode is very hard on the volume. So now I want you to, there we go. It just moves, TradingView moves a little slowly. So this price is working its way up to this order block up here. Now, in addition to that, I want you to notice this VWAP right here. Institutional traders, smart money, tend to move money, basically play the oscillation of price above and then below this VWAP. So it's a very strong signal to watch. And if I have it on mine, you can, on the default mode, I believe it's going to be off. If you want to turn it on, if you come in here to click on this gear wheel for BitLab Intelligence, and if you scroll down here, we can see on the bottom down here, actually, where's it at? It's right here. This VWAP settings, you can turn this on and off right here. You can also turn on and off these chart signals, these reversal, strong, and shift, and only have the bearish and bullish signals that we have like this. It's going to take a second to load. There we go. So you can clean it up if you want it on a more basic setting, or come back into and scroll back down here and turn these on and off if you want to utilize them. So let's turn on shift and REV for reversal trend shift, and REV for potential reversal setup. And we can see this. I mean, this boom reversal. This did not play out, but see this REV right here. Always look down. If you see something setting up on the price action on the BitLab Intelligence, look down here. What does the fuel say? We have no triangle here or none of these light diamonds like you see right here. So essentially, to clarify that, you see these light diamonds and these brighter triangles. These are essentially the same signal. And the reason why this is bright and this is more transparent is because this momentum wave, this trend wave, has come beyond a certain threshold that suggests that this is going to be a stronger move when it does reverse. So as you can see, right where this reverses, we get the triangle. You see right where this reversals, instead of a triangle, we only get this diamond right here. It's because it's below this line. Similarly with the bright green diamonds, we also have these more transparent, triangles. We have these more transparent diamonds because they're still going to matter, but it's not going to make as big as a move as these are right here. So for the beginners, when you see something, for instance, like this trend shift right here, look down. There's no move up that came and then eclipsed right here. So I wouldn't be actionable on this. I'd be more actionable right here because you're getting several of them in a row. And then this was letting you know something's about to come. So this says, look down here to the bottom. So you see this? Something's about to come. Look down here. Momentum is still expanding up. We have the green bars on the trend fuel suggesting that there's a lot of buying volume still, but the price action is suggesting some weakness as well. So in this weakness, it says, look to the bottom, look for your signal. And then what do we get? We get the diamond that also prints a bearish divergence right here. That's why we get this line. This is saying this is probably a pretty strong diamond because we have price action going up and the trend wave coming down. The underlying fuel is not there to keep pushing the car up the mountain. So this was the front running signals. We got the secondary or the third shift right here. And then right after that is when we get the diamond. And so that would have been a potential exit of a long or a short if you wanted to take a short. But in terms of the price action structure, I may or may not have taken that. But we can see price action moving up, trend shift suggesting it's going to happen. The trend fuel says something is happening. And then that was the end of this move. This basically went sideways here until we came down. Now, looking back to, let's go to the 4-hour here. And I want to just break down something. So looking here, we did not even talked about money flow yet. When we get a signal, for instance, let's see, right here. Here's a signal. Price action moves down. As it's moving down, we had an attempted reversal of momentum right here, but there was no confirming signal on the price action. So you would ignore that. Price action stays below the trend signal line here. So there's no actionable intel. We had a triangle here, but we didn't get any confirming signal. As price action gets rejected and comes down, a lot of selling pressure here, which, as you can tell on these price action charts, this selling pressure, selling volume, and buying volume, it's also printed in the BitLab Intelligence. You see these purple and teal candles? These candles print purple when you have a lot of selling volume on the way down, and they print teal when you have a lot of buying volume, suggesting the buyers are agreeing with this move. So we can see it on the price action and in the momentum waves down here on the BitLab Trend Fuel. Now, as soon as that selling pressure stops, we get this yellow. It's basically a reversal. There's still a lot of attempted sell pressure with this yellow candle right here, except somehow the buyers still dominated, even though there was a lot of selling pressure. It's essentially, think of it like stopping volume. This is suggesting with this yellow candle, same thing here, that something is likely about to shift. So we're looking at a lot of different signals with these indicators and making it easy for you to look and see something's going on. Okay, a lot of selling pressure. Oh, yellow, warning, something's about to change. Is there any indication on the trend fuel? Well, let's look down. We got the triangle. The trend momentum is shifting. So we have indication right here. We have an indication right here. And then as we move across, I would wait on this. As this moves across into this dynamic resistance zone, then we come over here. We get 4 bullish divergences just as we're breaking above this trend signal line. So this was the leading indicators right here. This potential reversal with this yellow candle. We get the triangle suggesting the trend is changing. And now we have this trend waves showing that it's about to cross positive. And we get the 4 bullish divergences right here. And we've broken this trend signal line. So we have the setup, and then we have the 1, 2, 3 confirm, because the trend is showing that it's about to break positive, and then we get that move right after this. So we had the full setup, and then the full confirmation, and boom, we got the move. Similarly, right here is price is moving up. Price is moving up. We get the trend shift to the downside. We have a bearish signal right here. So if you had taken this long, this may be a place to ladder a portion of your long out. If you're doing fast sort of scalp trades or just day trading or just trying to play the swing on these smaller time frames, we can see that if you took the long, we also got the reversal signal right here. I didn't even see that right here. So we had the setup, somewhat of a confirmation with the yellow bar, the triangle, 4 bullish divergences. We break through the trend signal line, and then boom, we get the full signal right here, goes up. Now here, we're starting to see some weakness come in and a trend shift, and we get the triangle right here. So that would have been a potential swing that you could have played, and that would have been to that point would have been a 22% move. Just utilizing the price action, the moving averages, the data, the signals, each one of these bullish and bearish signals, the shifts, these reversals, these are all reading what the price action is doing in relationship to technical analysis that's coded into this indicator stack, BitLab Trading Stack. Now, where we're at right now, let's go ahead and play this a little bit further. We have an order block directly above us. We have an order block directly below us. And if we were to come out like this, we can see how this plays out a little bit. We had some bearish divergences here suggesting, some sort of move down, but we had the attempt, but the bulls said, nope. In addition to this, look at this. As this pushed up, we're getting a rounding top. The price action is tapping into this order block. We have bearish divergences, and we had a bearish divergence on the momentum leading into this move, suggesting weakness was coming in. So this was telling you the trend is having some trouble here, continuing going higher. Bulls try to step into defend, but it's still sitting here at a somewhat sideways pace. So you can see this price interactivity keeps tapping into this order block. So it gives you an idea of a zone to pay attention to. It doesn't mean price won't break through. It means this is an area of interest for price to return to and tap that liquidity until it does break through. So it's a good area to put potentially stop losses or entries on the other side if you believe, based on your analysis, price is going to go up or go down. And so that's how we look to these things. Now, I'm going to go ahead and delete that so we can look at where we're at right now. Now, some of the things I want to show you on here, if you want to add more data to your BitLab volume, for instance, if you double click on it or come over here and click the gear wheel, you can scroll down. You can change, if you want this very clean like this or very blocky, change that right here, profile density. You can also come down to, if you want to see the volume information, what kind of volume is it? Bullish or bearish? First off, click here on volume data, show volume delta, or volume data. All right, this is the delta. Is it primarily the volume which had the majority, buyers or sellers at each one of these block levels? Now, if you want to see the split, you can see right here, up and down. You can see how much volume of buyers and how much volume of sellers. You just want to see how much was traded at that level, you come here to total. And you can see how much was traded at each one of these levels. This will be for more advanced users, but I do want to encourage you to break down these charts, understand technical analysis, and understand why volume is so important when you're trading, because it shows you where other buyers have been interested in buying and selling. So, in addition to all this, now think about this. If we come over here, if we come to, we're going to go to another chart here. I'm going to show you with actual technical analysis. In addition to this, we come here, come to this chart right here. Don't let this be overwhelming to you. Essentially, all I've done on this chart is I've identified where there's known trend lines of support and resistance. And why this is important is because then you have another layer of confirmation. Right here, we have price action pushing up into a known, at this point it wasn't, let's do it right here. Price action is coming down to a known level of support. We have this projected out, and we have this descending resistance that we're kind of flipped to support. But here we're testing this level of support again. Is it going to hold? Well, we have this projected line out here. We have this projected line out here. We have all of this information coming, and then we get this sort of reversal signal right here that comes in. And before this reversal signal, down on the bottom, if you look at the trend fuel, as this was moving down, right about right here, this is where we got the trend reversal, where we got the momentum wave, has the triangle right here that suggests price action is going to be coming up. So do you trade just on this? You can, but you're putting yourself at a little more risk. I'd really argue and support being a little more patient and looking for the 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmation. Price action's coming down. What do we get? We got that yellow candle suggesting stopping volume right on a known level, this macro resistance that we're flipping to support. We got the diamond, the triangle right here. The trend starts reversing. So do you take the trade immediately? No, we don't have any of the other signals. So the price action pushes up, gets rejected right at the trend signal line, comes back down, moves across. The momentum really starting to move up here. And we can see there's 4 bullish divergences. Just as we break, that's what the 4 is right here. I don't think it'll populate the data window because it's behind the, there it is. RSI bullish divergence, stochastic demand index, and on balance volume. And what happens? Price action is broken above this trend signal line. And then we get the sort of full confirmation right here with the REV, the reverse. Basically when it's on the bottom, that means likely price move up. When it's on the top, likely price moves down. And this REV is in perfect signal also. If we look down to the trend fuel, this is saying, yeah, this is likely a move up. The trend has been working its way to the bottom and then wave back up to the top. So we're getting our precursor right here, stopping volume. The triangle on the bottom suggests the trend's coming up. We get a little bit of a rejection. It's good. We can be a little patient. Then we get the underlying support comes in. Then we get the trend line, or the trend wave shows it's about to come across the zero line, and we get the reversal signal. So we could have waited until somewhere right here or right here to take this move, and it would have been a great move. I mean, look at this move. It would have been, even if you waited for it to get above the VWAP, that would have been, 36% move towards the top. So as you can see, you can utilize these signals together. If we come down here, if we look at Atom, double click here, let's go to the 8 hour. We can see right here, you have a bearish signal. It's right in line with the triangle right down here on the trend fuel. And we have, look at how high this is here, and look where the price is. Now it's much lower, but the price is higher. This is saying the underlying fuel isn't there to continue higher. Then we get the price action signal here that the algorithm in here reads. There's bearishness going on here. And then right after that, we can see right here where this bearish signal is. If we really zoom in on it, we can see this actually front runs the triangle. See this down here? There's still buying volume here, and this is still moving to the upside. So this is our precursor. This says, okay, let's keep our eyes open for other signals. Now we have this yellow line here. I didn't even talk about this. This is when we get this high volume, whether it's to the upside or the downside. And at the high of this level, it prints and comes across and comes down. It basically gives you a known level to have a potential stop loss or an exit of a trade if it were to go beyond that. So in this case, you get the bearish signal, it comes up, gets rejected right at this line. And right where it's getting rejected, look down here. This is where we get the triangle. So this is like the setup. It gets rejected, so the confirmation of the downside and the triangle here suggests down. And then look, we haven't even talked about this entire time because there's so much data in all these signals. On the bottom right, we have this dashboard. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different, I don't know why that's there. Yeah. We have six different signals here that just tells you, is that signal, the 6 different signals, primary signals in the BitLab Trend Fuel, is it a setting up right now for bearish, which is red, neutral, which is gray, or bullish, which is green or dark green? And so you get a really easy one look setup. What's the BitLab Trend Fuel saying? So if we were to do that right here where this is, let's see how that plays out. Letting it load. So, okay, look, as it stands right now, it's looking a little bearish. Price action is actually also coming down. So moving along, as this starts pushing up, you see how this all flipped green when it was about right here? Now we're getting a bearish signal, but look, there's still predominantly bullishness on this. There's one little bearish signal here. So this is conflicting with this. So this is not where you take the trade. It's saying there's something likely brewing. Let's pay attention. So then as this tries back up, so now it did try back up, but look, now we're getting predominantly bearishness is coming in on this dashboard. In addition to that, we're waiting to see if we get any sort of diamond or triangle. And so we got the triangle there. So now we got the triangle. We have a lower momentum high. See how this is higher? And this here, this is higher than this. And this here is lower than that. The fuel is lower while the price is higher, AKA there's not enough fuel to go up the hill. So you let this play out and you see this is starting to flip very bearish, not even knowing price action. You can see that the signals are trying to tell you things might be pulling back from here. So let's see how that plays out. So, I mean, this came back up and where did it tap? The order block, same thing we were talking about, part of the BitLab volume. This order block that was populated here, rejection zone. Now it's coming down. Where did it bounce? At the point of control. There's so much data here within the BitLab Trading Stack, and we're rolling it out. Everybody that currently has all the memberships already to the previous versions, pay attention to your emails, whether you get an email from TradingView that you got added access or not. But again, if you're wondering, you can just come here to indicators, go to invite only scripts and look for the BitLab _Academy. This is where this is the indicators. By the end of this week, if you are a paying member and you don't have access, email me at help@bitlabacademy.com. But I'm also sending out a really big email tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and let everybody know, depending on wherever you watch this, you can always periodically try this, because sometimes I'll have it turned on, sometimes I'll have it turned off. But until September 1st, you can use Give Me 30 for 30% off the BitLab Trading Stack. And you go over to BitLab Academy right here. You can come right here to indicators, BitLab Trading Stack, and click right here, Give Me Monthly Access. When you click on this, Give Me Monthly Access, when you put in your information on the next page, that is where you put in the coupon code. And again, it is Give Me 30. It'll give you 30% off your first month. So big love to everybody. I appreciate you all. Anybody that's watching this within the Academy or within the emails, make sure you head over to the BitLab Academy page here at youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. We do content on a daily basis, technical analysis on a daily basis. I break down what's going on with these indicators live with what's happening with price action. So come and get involved in the BitLab Academy if you haven't yet. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of the community. Hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. And again, we're going to be putting out a lot more content with a lot more training content on the BitLab Trading Stack. And I'm excited to see you all in the BitLab Discord, sharing your different setups and maybe different settings and all this in the BitLab indicators area, where we're going to be dominating this market. So big love to everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful day. And with that, I bid you adieu. Have a good day, everybody. Adios.